The HBO Phenomenon series comes to an end with the final season releasing on all formats. This show has always looked great even if it's just on Blu-ray, but is the 4K release really worth the extra price? Find out here when I review Game of Thrones, the complete 8th season on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Game of Thrones is my absolute favorite show, and obviously picking this up was going to be a no-brainer for me. The final season was not everyone's favorite, but I liked it for the most part, and I think you could just never make everyone happy. I'm not going to get into specifics because I could make a whole video defending my opinions, so we're strictly sticking to the video and audio quality. Video looks beautiful. This is a nice smooth image that I think looks great. I don't think it's as 4K crispy as other releases, but in my opinion the show has always had a smooth glossy tone, and I think that's intentional. The final season was very dark, and I think the 4K disc really improves on this and gives a nice detail to those dark scenes. The standout for me in regards to this show has always been the beautiful locations, and I thought this was stunning. The outdoor shots just look absolutely amazing and just so clear. The dragon flight scene in episode 1 was glorious, and my only complaint is that the actual real images look so good that it kind of makes the CGI on the dragons look not so good. It's still a great scene, but to me it's very obvious what is and what isn't real effects. Episode 3, The Long Night, is the one that really upset viewers as they complained about how dark the scenes were and how you could barely make out anything. Now for me, I didn't have this issue with it, and I've always thought my HBO Go app looked pretty good. Though I've heard several complaints about the streaming quality from various shows, I do think that this episode looks 10 times better than it did on the streaming or broadcast on 4K. I could make out a lot more than I noticed on the stream, and I popped in the Blu-ray for comparison, and I thought the 4K was definitely the winner here. The 5th episode climax with the burning of King's Landing looks so good, and while I'm not a fan of the direction the story went, I can still appreciate the high quality look of this episode. So as far as 4K benefits goes for this release, I'd say that the image looks good, but I did not notice that much use of HDR. The light and pops of color were just average, and there were really no scenes that stood out to me, but I do think this was simply because it's a television series and not a feature film, and things are done differently. Overall, I'm going to give this one an 8.5 for video quality. It is the best this show is going to look, and for the majority of the fans of this show, this is what you're going to want. Now, my experience with the audio on this disc seems to differ from the majority of other reviews I've looked at. I had to really turn this one up. Now, on average, my soundbar stays at about 25 to 30 for regular television viewing, including when I watched these episodes originally. I had to actually crank this one up to 60, which I found strange, and maybe it's just my system, although I've had no problems thus far. One thing that actually did surprise me about this release was the use of surrounds. I was not expecting any at all, and in the first episode there was a scene taking place in the courtyard of Winterfell, and I kept hearing the sounds of it as if it was surrounding me. I actually thought something was going on outside instead of it just being on this disc. I was pretty impressed with it, and I thought it really gave an immersive experience. I don't feel like I can properly give the audio quality a grade since nobody else I've spoken with has had any issues with the low sound, so I'm thinking this is just a faulty disc or something. As for cover options, you really only have two, the standard with the key art for the season, which is what you'll see on the Blu-ray and DVD copies. I actually did not see this option in either Target or Best Buy, yet it lists this cover on their websites and also on Amazon, so that may just be my own stores. There is a steelbook, which is what I ended up getting, and I saw this in both Target and Best Buy, so I don't think it's an in-store exclusive. I actually don't really like this option as much as it doesn't match my Season 1 4K set, but if you collected the steelbooks, then it does look nice beside them. There are a lot of extras on this set, but outside the commentaries, I don't think anything is exclusive to the release. I've seen several of the making of segments on HBO's YouTube channel, as well as the documentary The Last Watch, which aired after the series ended. If you haven't seen them though, it's a really good watch. My overall impression is that this is a very good looking release, and that if you're looking for the best view, this is what you want. It's actually only about $10 more expensive than the standard Blu-ray, which kind of surprised me. I think this is a must-have for fans of the series and those wanting a 4K release. They also released a complete series set on Blu-ray if you're looking for that. Now, I own all the individual releases, so I didn't pick this one up, but there are plenty of reviews on it on YouTube if you're looking for that. So let me know in the comments what you thought on this release, and if you plan on picking it up. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.